Are you tired of feeling tired? Are you struggling with vitality? Or does your body just not feel great? Join today's hosts Monique Bradley and registered naturopath Lynette Hill to talk about your health. It's Health Bites, bite-sized pieces of health and wellness information so you can own your health. No mai haere mai, welcome to the Your Fix TV studio. I'm Monique Bradley and tonight we're talking about health. I'm in the studio with the amazing Lynette Hill, registered naturopath and owner of My Remedy, an integrated natural medicine clinic here in Auckland. Great to have you in the studio tonight.
Thank you, Monique.
And tonight is one of your favourite topics. Is it wrong that we get excited about stress, anxiety and adrenal fatigue?
It probably is a bit odd, but it's good because we know we can do something about that.
That's so true. Well, let's take a look at tonight's health topic. And while we are on that topic, tonight is, are you wired or tired? We are going to be talking about those symptoms of anxiety and stress, a little bit about adrenal fatigue, and we're going to give you some information on how you can help yourself get out of that whole kind of stressful kind of feeling and make some changes in your life. Now, the other thing I would really urge you to do is invite your friends and family to join tonight's live stream. Let's open the conversation because it seems, Lynette, that stress and anxiety is becoming a bigger part of our everyday life, and you often talk about hyper-driven society. What's going on?
I think it's just becoming normal to be stressed now. So there's so much more to do. You know, we're not just getting up and having breakfast and getting in the traffic for 10 minutes and, you know, going to work and having a morning tea break and a lunch break and coming home. We're not giving ourselves those restful times. We're just pushing and pushing. We're often doing 2 or 3 jobs in the space of a day. And, you know, coming home, it may not be peaceful. The kids might be stressed. There's so
kids
much
drive me crazy, of course.
Yeah, there's a lot of stress out there.
Now, I just really want to say a big welcome to everybody who's watching tonight's stream. There's so many of you I can see across all 4 channels tonight. Now, while we are live, you are welcome to ask questions. We're going to show you some great products tonight that can help you if you are living in a bit of a state of anxiety or maybe a little bit stressed, or just you don't quite have the tools or the support to help you cope with those everyday stresses. We're going to give you some in real life examples, some really great products that are really gentle, that have helped me transform my life and can help you. But first of all, we've got a screen coming up. Let's talk about what you commonly see when people come into your clinic. Let's take a look right now. So are people turning up like this? So they need stimulants like this coffee cup to help them get through the day. Are you seeing things like this?
Oh, absolutely, because people are waking up tired. They're going to bed and their eyes are shut, but they're not actually coming out of that stressful state all night. So they really are hitting that coffee cup in the morning just to get them awake again. That's a really, really common presentation.
Now, I just want to say a very big hello to Gina Sterling, who's watching tonight. Good to see you. Now, Caroline A. Lawrence, a message just come in from you. I'm just going to have a look. Caroline has actually just said stress is a big killer. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree. At so many levels. I mean, it's raising blood pressure. It's making people anxious. It's messing with people's minds. It's just causing people to rush and not think. And I think, you know, we're all looking to find creams and potions for longevity so that we look better, but the stress is really what's aging us, isn't it?
Right, so true. I mean, you know, symptoms of aging through those lines around our face, premature greyness, you know, things like that are actually contributing even to the way that we look. I know for a lot of people who have been really struggling with stress, the grey circles or the dark circles under their eyes. I mean, what's that all coming from?
Well, I would say I was going to go deeper than that for a start, because you're basically using your organs 24/7, so you're using them far more than you should. So the same with a car. If you turn your car on at night and just have it running all night, you're going to use it much. The car's going to get old sooner, isn't it?
That's true. That is true.
We're doing far more to our organs than we should. And I tell you what, if we're looking a bit old on the outside, we're probably looking a bit old on the inside as well.
Oh, really good point. Really good point. Now, hello to Lee Davidson, who's watching from Australia. Good to see you on tonight's stream. Now, here's a lot of the things that Lynette mentioned in our chats prior to tonight's broadcast that she's seen in clinic. Those feelings of anxiety, palpitations, Lynette, worked up or wired. When it comes to those sort of emotional stresses, what are you seeing? Are people crying in the clinic?
A wide variety of things. I mean, emotional is the word. So we get people who come in and they're flat flat as a
Right.
pancake, there's nothing there. We get people who come in, they're bouncing off the walls.
Right, yes.
And then we get the people who, the minute they sit down, fall asleep, or we get the people who, the moment you show them some concern, are crying. So it's really, the stress is the trigger, but your reaction is so personal. So we see the gamut of behaviour.
Gotcha.
Stress.
Well, one of the first things I noticed, having struggled for 25 years with the symptoms of stress and anxiety, was the effects on my gut. And I noticed there on that graphic, symptoms of IBS are common with stress. That's a new one for me. I didn't realise they were kind of all interrelated.
Well, remember when we talked about the gut and the brain and that HPA axis? So your mind being hyperstimulated is being felt at the gut. If your gut's unhappy, you're worrying in your mind. There is a loop that's going all the time.
Right.
And when you are worried all the time, the blood's going to go from your gut to your arms and legs to get something done.
Of course, because it's fight or flight, right?
That's
So
right.
you're used to running away.
That's right. So you're immediately, it's okay to be in fight or flight sometimes. It's really, really important. But if you're in that all the time, when do you get to rest and digest?
A really good point.
It's a toggle.
So tonight we're going to talk about the way that anxiety and stress and adrenal fatigue looks, how it presents. But before we even start tonight, we do have to talk to you about the fact that no part of the show is actually designed to diagnose. We can't do that for you tonight, but we can open the conversation about your health. And if you do have any questions, please send your messages in. I've just seen some questions come in through the newsfeed. We're going to discuss that tonight. We're going to make a few recommendations on things that could maybe help you on your own way to wellness. And I'm going to talk to you about what I use that Lynette actually recommended for my own journey. So I struggled with anxiety. I've struggled with what I call the depressive experience, and I had an eating disorder as well. I had what I called the Holy Trinity. And really it all actually came back to trauma from grief. And also I had glandular fever, and it seems to be really common that a lot of people are either living in low-grade stress or something could have happened in their life which has triggered that stress response. And one of the first things that you actually recommended was this really amazing product. If you've ever heard of Rescue Remedy is great for trauma, right?
Yeah,
but
shock.
Stress Less is something that you can take every day. So that it's a little spray, you pop it under your tongue, right?
Just
or
in your mouth, or on your forehead.
Whatever you like.
Yeah.
Something that's really, really natural, very, very gentle. So when you get a bit flustered going from meeting to meeting, or you just want to find a little bit of calm in the day, the kids are driving you crazy in the back of the car, this is safe for them to take during the day.
Absolutely. So this is a flower essence remedy, and one of our practitioners, Kate, is responsible for a lot of these beautiful remedies. And it's just something that you can have a couple of sprays, a little bit like Rescue, just to settle you down and just get rid of that sort of chronic stress feeling that you're having.
Do you know what I love about this too? I love that it's actually made in your clinic here in Auckland. I think, I try as much as possible to support New Zealand products, and the fact that I've used it personally and I've had those results. So to find that calm space within the day, especially for somebody who tends to be on the highly wired side of personality, this has been really amazing. If you want to find out more about that, you can get in contact with the clinic. We're going to share the details of the website for you. In fact, it's myremedy.co.nz. Really easy. This is your remedy. So remember, My Remedy is your remedy. Got it? Excellent. All right, details on there. Now, on their website is a whole bunch of blogs as well. They talk a lot about gut health and stress and anxiety. It's a wonderful resource to help you if you are really concerned about your health. Now, we've got a couple of, hello everybody. Katie English said, hi ladies, hi to you. Jane Wan has just messaged in and said, I have been diagnosed with heart condition 2 weeks ago, PVC. Can you help with that tiredness and fatigue because it's so bad?
Yeah, so when you have a heart condition, you've got a lack of oxygen. So that's a really serious condition. So what we like to do when we work with our cardiovascular patients is we make sure we use HemoView, and we have a look at their actual cell structure and make sure it's not collapsing. So we might use oils. But absolutely, there are also herbs that can be used, and some minerals and vitamins that can safely work alongside medication. This is why you go and see a naturopath. You need to see someone who can look at your medicine and understand it and give you something that will not interfere with it, or that will change it at all. So yes, there's a lot of things that can safely be given. to bring up those energy levels.
So what I'd suggest, Jane, is send Lynette an email. I'll share with you her email address, but if you've got a pen and paper handy, lynette@myremedy.co.nz. That email will go directly to her. She'll know that your name is Jane and that you guys can connect and have that conversation a little bit more in depth once we're off air. Thank you for your question there, Jane. Now, Joe Jensen has just said, what's an alternative to coffee for energy instead of water all the time? And skin, what is good for skin to put on mine? Breakouts due to dryness and stress. A great question.
Okay, so I mean, water obviously is a really good alternative for the skin aspect of it. For coffee, there are some really lovely herbal teas you can have. Rooibos tea has got a lot of flavour, and it gives you that kind of, it's almost normal tea. There are some roasted dandelion coffees which give you that feeling of comfort and reminds you that you deserve a coffee. What we tend to do is try not to supplement you with something to give you energy, because often the fact that you're so tired is because you're adrenally fatigued. So your adrenals don't want to do more, they want to do less. So what we tend to do is allow you to relax better and get your energy from your sleep, wake up hungry, get your energy from your breakfast, and then you don't need as much supplementation of coffee.
So true. In fact, that's one of the things I've done. I'm now in a position where I can't actually drink coffee anymore because I've completely reversed what my adrenals were needing. And I do take supplements to support my adrenals. This is actually the supplement I take. It's called Adrenal. And I know that a heap of people I know are also on the same supplement because it really is truly amazing. By the way, this is practitioner only. And because I get so much support from this, I take it twice a day. I actually don't need coffee as a stimulant anymore. In fact, I drink decaf because I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's such a lovely thing. Thank you for raising the practitioner only product there, because one thing we try really hard not to do as naturopaths is show you a product.
Yeah.
The reason for that is you've been into our dispensary.
Yes, I have.
There are probably 7 or 8 different things that we use for stress, including sending people for counselling, sending people to Stephanie for hypnotherapy, or Kate for homeopathic counselling. So using any product has to be closely matched to you. Yep. So some people can't use this, it will put their blood pressure up. So they need to be given another product that is tailored to them. So that's, if you wonder why we talk about practitioner only products, it's because a practitioner is trained to guide you to the product that's going to be most effective and safe.
I totally agree, and I do urge you to stay on the stream, because we are going to talk through the full range of products that you can see on the table today, because they're all fantastic. I've used all of them, I think. Oh, except for that one.
Yeah, this one hasn't got herbs in it, so it's safer for somebody on a lot of medications. So
perfect.
That's just to give you an example of some of the choices we make.
Excellent. So pre-stream, Lynette and I talked in great length about this. Not only have I talked from my experience of dealing with day-to-day anxiety, and also living with something that was diagnosed as depression. We talked about that experience of medical versus non-medical stress and anxiety. Can you talk us very quickly through the difference between those?
Sure. So you can see there in the green column, it's everyday anxiety. So all of those situations in that green column are normal. We deal with those stresses every single day. In the red column, red is for danger. It's saying we're doing an exacerbation of behaviour around that anxiety. So we're not just a little bit stressed, but we might start to get phobias. We might stay at home and not go out. We might have irrational fears about, what could happen. It's like a delusion of the stress.
Oh, wow.
So that's when it becomes a disorder. And sometimes all that's needed there is some serious retraining through counselling, through psychotherapy. Some people may need medication, but also remember our health ladder from earlier shows.
Yes, of course.
This is a great time to come and see a naturopath. See if we can calm you physically before you hit the medication. And if that's not an option or not safe for you right now, we will send you and refer you to either mental health services or the doctor or whoever's going to help you turn that anxiety disorder back to an everyday reaction.
So really understanding, whether it's medical or non-medical is really what you do as a healthcare professional and what your team does. Is that right?
Absolutely. We're not doctors and we don't want to be doctors. We work at returning unhealth back to health.
I love it.
So, and if we can't do that through our pills and potions and therapies, then we will always rely on our medical system to fill in the gaps.
And being a naturopath, all of your training is based on medical science, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we use the same textbooks. So
No
it
way.
always makes me laugh when people go, I don't want to come to a naturopath because I'm very scientific. You've seen my clinic, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's quite medical.
Yeah.
Really. It's microscopes everywhere. It's really worth seeing. Now, if you've just joined the stream, welcome to tonight's topic. We are talking about the effects of stress and anxiety, and we are going to delve into adrenal fatigue tonight. We are talking about, are you wired or are you tired? And it really is that difference between a medical diagnosis versus a non-medical diagnosis of stress, anxiety, or adrenal fatigue. And we are talking through some products tonight because they're products I've personally tested and they're fantastic. So if you know me and you follow me on social media, firstly, thank you for following me in my journey. I really battled for 25 years, in fact, with the effects of stress and anxiety, and I had an eating disorder as well. And last year, one of the things that really turned around my health was going to see Lynette. She did a treatment called HemoView, or a diagnosis process. I can't really say that. Analysis.
Yep.
That looks at what was going on in my blood, and it appeared that there was a little bit too much adrenaline coursing through my body. So I've tried pretty much everything here apart from this one here, which is really very, very gentle. There's no herbs or anything in here. It's just a great supplement to support your adrenal glands. But everything else, I speak from experience, amazing, super gentle, and helps you find your calm space. So many comments coming through tonight. Hi, Vanessa Bennett, good to see you on the stream. Gina Sterling, good to see you. She said a lot of my anxiety, lack of sleep, change in habits, etc. is caused by grief. Most part of me is trying to move on, but my heart is not listening. Can any of your products help with this?
Oh, absolutely.
We love you, by the way, Gina.
Yeah.
We love you.
And you're not alone, Gina. When we are working in clinic, whether it's through hypnotherapy, homeopathy, or naturopathy, we're always looking back. When were you good until, or when did this happen, or was there a traumatic event? And a traumatic event can be something we saw, can be a gut infection, it can be anything, but something changed that moment for you. So one of the things that works beautifully when it's the body and the body is stressed, we often work with supplements as a naturopath. It's like, this will switch things off and this will energize you. But when it's an emotional trauma, this is where homeopathy can come in and just really deal very gently with the issue and sort of unplug it and move on a little bit.
So true.
And the other people, some people use hypnotherapy to kind of change their thought processes around it. It's a very complex situation. It does require seeing a therapist, but certainly give us a call and we can talk to you about, the options that would help that. It's definitely helpable.
Gina, having gone through grief myself, one of the things that really helped me was Rescue Remedy, which is a bark flower remedy. And again, you can email Lynette directly, lynette@myremedy.co.nz, to extend that chat a little bit further. Something from the bark flower range was amazing for me. And also, My Remedy have produced these really amazing little kits. These are homeopathic kits, and this one in particular has been developed for stress. Stress and anxiety. And when you're talking about the emotions, would you say that the pulsatilla, which is the bottom one here, is it really designed for those feelings, that teariness?
Weepy. The pulsatilla flower, if you look at the picture of it, it's got this tiny thin little stem and then it's got this heavy drooping head. And it's a really nice picture of just can't deal with it. And it's really nice, for that really emotional menstrual person.
Gotcha.
Some of the other remedies in there, we've got aconite. So that's very similar to Rescue Remedy. It's just there for that immediate shock and trauma and shaking. We send bucket loads of aconite, as the homeopathic community, to Christchurch to help with
after the earthquakes. That's amazing. I didn't know that.
And then there's arsenicum. So arsenicum is known as a bit of a food poisoning remedy, but a lot of people, when they are really stressed or upset, they feel it in their gut and they get diarrhea and all sorts of other nasty symptoms.
I actually used that when I got Delhi Belly in India.
So it sort of helped your stress in more than
certainly did.
a few ways. Gelsemium is the go-to for somebody who is anxious about an exam or a job interview, or going to ask the boss for a raise, or for stage fright, for fear of flying, for fear of anything that makes you feel a bit weak at the knees.
Yeah, I took that when I was flying to India.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then when I asked, what haven't you tried? I don't think you've tried hypericum. Hypericum is made from St. John's wort, and so St. John's wort is the salve for the nerves. So some people who feel very nervous and hypericum, and this little dose is just a first aid for your anxiety, not to fix all of your problems forever.
So it's a good starting place.
It's a rescue. And then pulsatilla, really good for the hormonal teenager picture.
Yeah, so when you're feeling a bit weepy, it's really handy to have. My Remedy does these little kits, which are really handy because they fold up really small. They fit in your handbag, but they also clip onto your key ring. So it's a really good emergency kit, particularly if you are feeling a little bit overwhelmed sometimes. This is a really good one to have. I also have the bigger kit, which I use for travel. And these are actually available on the My Remedy website as well. And this is what I took to India. And this basically gave me everything that I needed to have the most amazing trip, even when I was feeling a little unwell. When I was feeling poorly. It is called the Feeling Poorly kit. And what is great too is inside that bigger kit, it has a cheat sheet. And this is what I love about it too. It gives you all of the symptoms in there of how you're feeling and all the symptoms, and then there's a checklist on the other side which basically tells you according to how many checks off the list you have, which is going to be the perfect remedy for you. That's very clever, Lynette, by the way.
I know, that's something
I'm very impressed by that.
There's 2 homeopaths at My Remedy, and we've created these kits, and it's sort of something for everything. And we actually have an amazing web-based training course for that, which goes over 6 weeks. And by the end of it, you know your remedies, and you're really confident to get out there and go, I'm going to have a go. Next time my child has got a bleeding nose, I'm going to try and give them some support, or if they've got diarrhea. So I think that's good for stress too.
Oh, fantastic. And these are really gentle. These don't mess with your medication at all, do they?
No, and neither do bark flowers.
Perfect. So really gentle if you are a sensitive wee soul like me. So we've got a heap of questions and comments coming through. Firstly, Krishna Bay said, hi guys. Hi to you, Krishna. Good to see you on the stream. Carolyn Lawrence said green tea. Good for stress as well, I believe.
And it's an antioxidant as well. So green tea is lovely, and it's for the, I think it was Gina who was saying what other than coffee. Sorry if I got the name wrong.
That's right.
Joe
Jensen.
Oh, Joe. Sorry, Joe. Green tea is a really nice substitute for that because it still has a wee bit of caffeine in there, so it gives you a wee boost.
Okay, and Katie English said, what about joy tea?
Oh, joy tea. That's another subject, Katie. Joy tea is a fabulous tea range that one of our naturopaths and medical herbalists, Kohei Iguchi, has designed. And it's a very, very clever system where I'm not sure if it's just on the website, but he does seminars, and you go in there with your list of what you want to do, and you work as a team, and you create your own tea. So it's for really whatever situation you need.
Really clever. All right, Raja from India, good to see you on tonight's stream. Raja has just said, told you about my OCD and anxiety problem. That's right, you've talked about this before. It's getting a bit better. Hypnotherapy and meditation I've been suggested, and it's worked. We're so pleased to hear that. Right. So does these products calm down the brain waves, because anxiety is synonymous with high brain functioning. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
These are not designed to calm the brain waves. The things that actually, I lie. The bark flowers are definitely at that level, but the main focus is to get the adrenal response down, because when you are pumping adrenaline, you're hyper stimulated. So that is our main priority, is to get that body normalized, and that takes the load off the brain. Gotcha.
Thank you so much for your question, Raja. Good to see you on the stream.
And we might be very busy tonight answering a lot of these questions.
We'll try our best. There are so many. Jane Wan said, can I take these supplements with my heart problems to wake me up? I can't have coffee, tea, or chocolate or anything to wake me up, and it's driving me a bit insane.
Yeah, you really do need to have a consultation because it's a really unique issue.
It is.
And someone needs to look at your situation, your current health, your medication, and your habits, and work to tweak those for you. So if you are seeing a qualified naturopath, or a homeopath or a hypnotherapist who's qualified to give you a supplement, they're going to make sure that that is going to be safe with your medication and effective.
So true. Now, hello to Matty Blythe who's watching. Hello, lovely. Good to see you in the stream tonight. Lee Davidson has just asked, can you buy these products in Australia? We can ship them, right?
Yes, you probably, but again, it's going to take, some of this is pretty much over the counter, so all of our homeopathy kits and bark flowers, but anything that's practitioner only requires a consultation. There's some fantastic naturopaths in Australia, and odds are they've got their hands on products like this for you as well.
Alternatively, can she book a Skype consultation with you?
Yeah, I think Skype's fantastic, but you know, do also look close to home if you're in a very, very dangerous, precarious situation with your anxiety.
Now, Taylor Eastwood has just said, do these have to be kept at a cool temperature? Mine got quite warm when we were travelling.
No. Nope, they're totally fine.
Mine got warm in India as well. Absolutely fine.
They're really, really protective kits, Taylor. They're fine going through the airport. My poor kit has been it's almost been around the world, and it still works when I use it. So I'm pretty impressed with these wee kits.
Now, Tim, keep those questions coming. We love hearing from you. And remember, all of these products are available with Lynette at My Remedy. Her website is myremedy.co.nz. On the website, only some of these products, like the homeopathy kits, are available through the website, as some of this and Stress Less will be on there from tomorrow.
Maybe.
If it's not there already. Some of these
shelves.
are practitioner only, so do remember you will need to have a consultation with one of the team to be able to get your hands on some of these amazing beauties, but this one for me has been an absolute game changer, as well as the Stress Less, which is truly, truly amazing. These are my first aid kit now. That's all I need. I feel great, feel fantastic. And they help me out and help me have a really calm, happy life. Still with lots of energy though. That's what I love about it.
Like your energy is totally flipped. It's completely normalized.
So true. Now, we do have a quick video to show you guys. It's called Fight or Flight. It's going to talk you through a little bit more around what may be going on if you are struggling with a little bit of fatigue or a little bit wired or tired, and give you an idea of when it's kind of normal and when you might need to get a little bit of help. Let's take a look at that video right now.
The fight or flight response is our body's primitive automatic response that prepares the body to fight or flee from perceived attack, threat, or harm to survival. Symptoms include rapid heart rate and breathing, dilated pupils, pale or flushed skin, and sometimes a feeling of anxiety. This response gets your body ready for action and helps you to perform under pressure, which is great if there is a tiger chasing you or if you need to react quickly to danger, but not if the pressure is ongoing and coming from day-to-day stresses such as traffic, workload, difficult relationships, injury, or even poor diet. To stay healthy, our body needs to toggle between fight or flight and rest and digest. When the body is surging with adrenaline, blood flows from the essential organs, such as the gut, to the arms and legs in order for us to react. This is okay for short bursts, but if we stay in this adrenal state for prolonged periods of time, we may start to notice changes in our digestion, sleep, and ability to cope with even normal stresses. If this sounds like you, we can help. You can email us, visit our website, or give us a call to find out more. My Remedy. It's your remedy.
Well, if any of that video resonated with you, and unfortunately it is becoming increasingly more normal to feel in that state of everyday anxiety or stress. We're going to be sharing that video as a small video piece for you guys tomorrow, so feel free to share that with your family and friends, because we really just want to educate more people about the fact that being wired or tired is not normal. And that's really what tonight's whole show is about. So if you've just joined us, I'm Monique Bradley for Your Fix TV. This is Lynette Hill, the clinic director of My Remedy. She's a registered naturopath and really an advocate for natural medicine. Lynette, we've talked about this at great length. People are coming into your clinic all the time. They're stressed, they're anxious, they don't know what to call it. They haven't been diagnosed with anything until you start talking about adrenal fatigue. So the big question is, what is adrenal fatigue? We've got a screen to bring up on the screen right now.
So adrenal fatigue isn't something to be diagnosed. It's a set of symptoms that come from a whole lot of conditions. So it's the long-term chronic reaction and coping or lack of coping to things like, your finances, to grief, as we heard tonight, maybe to a diet that gave you no energy for so many years that you're nutritionally underwhelmed, from relying on your caffeine and your coffee. From constantly living in fear, from a relationship that causes you stress every day, whether it's at home or it's your work. So it's not a thing. It's the way your body has responded to the life you're living and how well you are or are not coping with it.
Right. So we've had so many comments and questions come in tonight. Hello, if you're just joining us. Shabiem just said, hi Monique, it's great. Thank you. I'm so pleased you're enjoying tonight's stream. Because we are live, this is your opportunity to ask questions. So if anything you see in tonight's show is resonating and you really want to ask Lynette while we're live. We'll only be live for around another 15 minutes, so time is ticking. But I want to know, with all these symptoms, everyday stress, can it just be that the kids are driving you crazy and you have anxiety? Or can it be that you can't pay your bills and you have anxiety? Or is it all those stresses building up that can really overstimulate the adrenals and we kind of get that adrenal fatigue?
And they're two separate things that kind of merge and become one thing.
Right.
So absolutely. I mean, some people can have 15 kids, work full time, everything's done, they're perfect and they're fine and they can sleep at night and everything's working. I don't know this person.
I do not know this person
is out there somewhere. I live off stress. I love it. The more I have to do, the better I go, but if it's making me sick, if I'm worrying all the time, or if I'm fretting about things, if I'm getting sore tummies or starting to skip meals and have coffee, then it's having an adverse effect on me.
Oh yes, I've been that person.
Yeah, so stress is great. It gets things done and it saves our life, as we saw. We get away from the tiger. But when it is coming from, I'm not coping with the traffic, I'm not coping with, the 3-year-old or the school holidays, then it's like, that's a trigger. And it doesn't necessarily mean you're depressed or need to be diagnosed with anxiety. It just says these things are making you anxious. Let's get some help.
So it's your response, which is giving those symptoms of anxiety. Now, I did battle with that. And if you have a look at this graphic here, I was that woman on the left, wired for sound. So chances are I had very high cortisol, high neurotransmitters, and I was the supernova diva who was pretty much burning out. In fact, I got down the other end where I was just plain tired all the time. Now, that is a critical situation. And I'm wondering if anybody on the stream tonight has been in that same situation. Have you felt any of this? I mean, what are you seeing out of those 4 phases of adrenal gland burnout? What are you seeing the most in clinic?
Well, we see all of them because we get everybody coming in. But the hyper-driven, that wired, and they're sitting there and the legs going and they can't stop, the phone's ringing. And boy, that first appointment is hard work. The second time we see them, they're somewhere else. And we also see that totally burnt out little sad fellow at the end.
Right.
Those are them. Usually it takes to be at one extreme or the other to come in and get some help.
So here's some of the symptoms that we urge you to look out for. You may feel tired for no reason. Maybe you struggle to get up in the morning even when you go to bed at a reasonable hour.
Yeah, and you might feel worked up and emotional and jittery or overwhelmed in a situation that you may not consider deserves that. Unable to focus, feeling of panic or out of control. You might start struggling to overcome illness or recover from stress.
I think the biggest one I noticed was those mid-afternoon energy slumps. So about 3 o'clock, I'd want to have a sleep.
Yeah.
And of course, that's the time I'd actually load myself up with carbohydrates and sugars and coffee to try and stimulate myself for the rest of the afternoon.
Which you do beautifully, and you have those fast foods, that food that gives you energy straight away, and then bang, you can't sleep that night.
That's so true.
You know, so you might feel really, really energetic just at
Yep.
tea time, you know, like a child that comes alive just before bed.
That's true. So very true. So if any of these symptoms are resonating with you, look, we urge you to get in touch with the team at My Remedy, because look, finding your way back to wellness could be as simple as, you know, a really gentle bark flower that will help you with the emotional stresses or deal with them. This has been wonderful for me. It's called Stress Less. It's made at the clinic here in Auckland and Browns Bay. And look, very, very gentle and wonderful to help you find that calm place amidst all the chaos of maybe being a mother or a dad or a grandmother or working in a really busy environment. This is a great option for you.
Students.
Oh, students, yeah, exam stress. Now, Maddie Blythe just said I was going to ask you a question, but you answered it. Thanks. Well, that's what tonight's about.
Perfect.
And many people are actually messaging in saying, yeah, I have a lot of those symptoms.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what? Just because it's common doesn't mean it's normal. So that's what we get a lot of the time is people go, but everyone's like that. Then I'm like, well, crikey, society is really, really stressed.
Yeah.
So if you are feeling that, it's not normal and it's not healthy for you. So
if any of those symptoms are resonating with you tonight, please talk to your naturopath, talk to your homeopath, talk to your chiropractor, your healthcare professional. And look, life doesn't have to be that stressful. You can find a calm place. I speak from experience. Now, you can actually head to the My Remedy website and take the quiz, which has been loaded in there today for you. It's called How Stressed Are You? It's under their blog section on their website. And basically, you'll end up with a score, anything over 60, and you probably need to really get some help. Under that, it gives you different scores that will basically indicate whether you might be on the verge of adrenal gland burnout, or perhaps that you might be a little bit further, I guess, up the health ladder, and you need maybe some condensed nutrients, like something like this. Maybe you need something like Adrenal. Again, they can't diagnose from that quiz, but they can look at some healthy options for you. Now, let's talk about ways to deal with it there as well. Basically, how can the team at My Remedy help everybody watching tonight?
okay, so we've got a lot of options. The naturopaths, I'm a naturopath and a homeopath, but I really focus on naturopathy. We're going to look at your diet and your lifestyle and all the circumstances around it. We're going to look and see if there's something that we could take out of your diet, something that we can modify, maybe get you drinking less coffee and more water, maybe give you some specific vitamins to support you. So we're going to look very much in that model for you. If it is a habit that is causing you stress and it's just going on and on and on, and you're like, I don't know why I do this, but I just do it anyway, then maybe some hypnotherapy alongside a bark flower remedy would be really, really beneficial.
Fantastic.
And then Kate is really fantastic at homeopath at My Remedy, because she does a very, very individualized system for you, either of finding a remedy, a homeopathic remedy that closely matches your physical and emotional symptoms. And she also does personal blends, and that's these beautiful little remedies here, bark flowers and flower essences.
I love them.
They're
I
so
highly
good.
rate them. They're amazing.
There's things there for impatience, intolerance, jealousy, worrying about things. So we find the aspects of your stress and we give you a remedy to just try and turn that down. So I think, particularly getting the naturopathic approach to support the adrenals and make sure you're physically able to relax, and then those mind therapies to actually, like no amount of vitamin C will stop you worrying about your kids.
That's so true. Now remember, tonight we can't diagnose anything for you guys. We're just here to open up that conversation about wellness and your health, and talk about, what are the different approaches you can take when it comes to your health options. Because, it's good to seek a second opinion. It's good to look at different methods. For some people who are living that lower grade anxiety every day, a little bit stressed, kids driving driving you crazy, your workmates are dicks, whatever's going on. Look, it could be as simple as maybe trying a spray to just help you relax, a little bit of a bark flower, maybe doing some meditation and some yoga. You know, something like that is really, really going to help you find that zen space in your life.
Exercise.
For people, exercise is a huge one. For people who might be really in the throes of suffering with or struggling with adrenal fatigue, you might want to go something a little bit heavier, like an adrenal support. Again, Lynette can't diagnose that for you, but you can talk to her directly by heading to the My Remedy website and having a look through their articles, having a look through the services, having a look at the team on the website and finding out what they do. And remember, there is so much on offer, whether it's hypnotherapy, whether it's homeopathy, hemaview, or naturopathy, even the bark flowers, just fantastic ways, different ways for you to deal with your stress, your anxiety, or really smash that adrenal fatigue. Hayley Fish has just said adrenal. Are you loving it as much as I am, Hayley? It's amazing. It has been the best thing. I cannot recommend it enough to people, but of course...
But you can't.
It's practitioner only, so I can't, but I tell everybody to go and see Lynette at My Remedy. Now, on that point, I noticed that Romina from Argentina messaged in tonight, sorry, I'm not ignoring you, honey. She said, for me, it was amazing to try homeopathy to deal with my hand problems. I really recommend. So Romina had a skin condition where her hands were very dry and chapped and cracked and painful. And homeopathy, instead of using, say, a cortisol cream or a steroid, has been really amazing to treat her skin naturally. So thank you for that recommendation. Really, really love it. Hayley just said, adrenal support is helping me so much. Lynette is amazing.
Thank you, Hayley.
I totally agree. Well, there you go. That's tonight's big chat. I urge you to get in touch with the people at My Remedy. myremedy.co.nz is their website. There's a heap of information on there. So whether you want to treat what's going on in your life through hypnotherapy, whether you want to grab one of these amazing wee stress kits and keep that on your key ring when the kids are driving you nuts, or whether you want to try something which worked really well for me, so a gentle bark flower remedy just to help you find your zen. Whatever stage you're at with that stress and anxiety, there is the perfect remedy for you. Any final thoughts, Lynette?
Yeah, I would just say, remember, if you're feeling like that, it's not normal, and you actually deserve to be able to sleep well at night and to feel energized and happy through the day. So if you're not, then definitely I urge you to seek some help for that.
Perfect. Now, there's the details. Health at myremedy.co.nz gets to everybody in the clinic. So you can send a generic email to whomever and your information will be given to the right person to help you. There's the phone number. And remember, that website is on the screen. Take a look at what they can offer. And remember, you don't have to be in Auckland to do a consultation. You can do a consultation via Skype as well. So whatever part of New Zealand or the world you're in, you can talk directly with the team. They're incredibly knowledgeable and here to help you find your way to wellness. Maddie just said, good job. Well, thank you for being part of the stream. We can't do this show without you guys. So thanks for being involved. A big shout out to Pete, who's our producer and director for the show. Stellar job, my friend. And Lynette, thank you as always. I love these shows. Thank you for transforming my life and my health and my wellness. If anybody can do it, I've done it, and so can you. So thanks for being part of the show tonight.
Welcome.
Thanks for watching. You can be part of the show. Every month we do a live stream on a different health topic. So send us your questions, be part of the conversation, let us know what you want to see, and please share this show. If you've enjoyed this information as much as we have, please share it, and let's bring about more love and more healing in the world. Thanks guys for watching. I'm Monique Bradley. This is Lynette Hill. We've had a great time tonight. This is Health Bites, produced by Your Fix TV. Thanks. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Lynette.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Bye.